Olympic gold medalist. He's twice been in the BRW, like Roe, initially for having the top 100 fastest growing, being in the top 100 fastest growing businesses in Australia 2 years in a row, and also being in the top 100 richest men in Australia under the age of 40, making the Young Rich list. One thing you have to understand about Kman is he can deliver a mighty blow. He does enjoy giving straight down the line feedback, as Ava and I know. You can probably see another hole right there for me because I get many kicks up in the ass from Kay. So what you have to be understanding of today is the harder Kman sets it down the line, the more he cares. And if you get a kick, what way do you go? And if you get a pat on the back, you move. So he's going to kick your ass. It's very exciting for me because I get to watch you because you get to experience. So you're about to hear from one of the founders of the Max International College for Fitness Professionals, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Kman McEvoy.
I want you to do this. Wow, go. Wow. Okay, tell the person beside you, go. Wow, go. Wow. Okay, so the question is, how have you found today? Wow. Wow, what a fantastic day today's been, right? 5 sessions you've had of sensational stuff. Really sensational if you put it into practice. 5 sensational sessions of foreplay. Who likes foreplay? And you know what comes after 5 sessions of foreplay? A climatic orgasm. Are you ready for an orgasm? For about an hour. Yes. I know when I shared before about bacon and eggs and the hen is involved and the pig is committed. The other interesting fact I found the other day is pigs have 30-minute orgasms. Isn't that amazing? Just a random fact. Sometimes you want to be a pig. Someone calls you a pig, yeah. So I've got a smile on my dial. What I want for you is to have more orgasms in your business. Those magical moments in your business where you're so proud of what you've achieved it makes you feel orgasmic. Now, the first thing before you have an orgasm, you have to love your business, right? It's very hard to have an orgasm with someone you don't love. Have you ever tried that before? It doesn't seem to work. But if you love what you do in your business, then you can get sensational orgasmic results that make you feel absolutely sensational and top of the world. So, who loves business? Hands up. Because if you don't love business, don't go into business. Do what you love and love what you do. It's like Paddy and Mick, the 2 Irish entrepreneurs. Well, they weren't entrepreneurs until Mick says to Paddy one day, now I won't do the Irish accent. Because every time we do an Irish accent, by the end of the joke, it's Indian. You go, oh, blame me now. So Mick turns to Paddy one day and says, hey, Paddy, why don't we go into business? And Paddy goes, why is that, Mick? He says, well, all the people I know who's really wealthy and successful, they own their own businesses. So how about we go into business, become wealthy and successful, and that would be a great way to live a life. And Paddy goes, well, what a great idea. Let's go into business. So he says, have you got any thoughts on what type of business you want to be in? And they lived on the Gold Coast in Queensland. And Mick goes, well, why don't we go into business where we offer something that people want. So they go to the beach on a hot summer's day, they come for the beach, they want something cool, refreshing and healthy. So why don't we go in the watermelon business? Let's open up a watermelon shop on the beach. And Paddy goes, well, what? That's a fantastic idea. So what they do is they collect their money and they buy a truck, a little ute, and they drive up to the markets in Brisbane and they buy all the watermelons they can. They put in the back of the ute and they drive back down the coast and they open up shop. And it's unbelievable because on the first day, it was a sunny day, people went to the beach, they're all hot and sweaty at the beach. They came off the beach and they saw the shop and said, well, we'll go and buy some watermelons. What a great idea. So Paddy and Mick, what they did, they bought all the watermelons, they laid them out, they paid $1 per watermelon at the markets, and then they offered them to the people on the beach for $1 each. And they sold them all in the first day. And Paddy says to Mick, wow, this is fantastic. We sold out. This is a great business. So the next morning they get up all eager and they go out to the markets and they buy all the watermelons for $1 each, fill up the ute, come back down to the beach, open up the shop, and they sell each watermelon for $1 each, and they sold out again. But this time they had to do 2 trips up and down from Brisbane back to the coast. And they go, oh, this is amazing. We just can't keep up with demand. So they're doing multiple trips, and they're working long hours, and they're doing multiple trips up and down, buying the watermelons for $1 each, coming down, selling them, selling out before noon for $1 each. Unbelievable. And they're just busy, 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 busy. And they're flat out and go, oh, this is fantastic. We're so busy. We're just selling stuff. This is so easy. Business is easy. What's going on? This is unbelievable. And after about 6 weeks, Paddy says to Mick, I love this business. I love the watermelons. I love the customers, what they get from it. But there seems to be a little bit of a challenge. And Mick goes, what's that, Paddy? He says, well, we don't seem to be making any money. Oh, okay. That's fair enough. It's a good point. So what do you think we should do? I said, I don't know. So they start to put their thinking caps on. And then Paddy comes up, I've got it. I've got the solution. And Mick goes, what's that? And says, we need to buy a bigger truck. It's so easy in business to get into business and then get trapped. Getting busy, busy, busy. And eventually what you once loved to do becomes a bit of a chore. Because you're not really going where you want to go. You're not growing where you want to grow, and you're not becoming who you want to become. So let's have a look at some of the things that I've learnt over the 22 years of mistakes, stuff-ups, and fuck-ups. Because every great lesson comes wrapped in a problem or a mistake. Now, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not trying hard enough. And if you're going to fall, make sure you fall forwards, not backwards. Having a go. Moving towards where you want to go. And Savvy's got some great stuff for you, which I've already shared about risk management. However, when you grow, you've got to make mistakes. I see business as directional chaos. It's chaotic. If it's not chaotic, you're not doing enough stuff. If you run a business and you know where everything is and it's all smooth and calm, it's probably because you're not doing anything. But if you're doing stuff, it means you're learning stuff, making mistakes, you learn your lessons from the mistakes. So it's chaotic, directed productivity. And let's have a look at some of the things that's going to enhance that growth to make sure that you get what you want out of it. And that's always a good starting question, is why do you go in the business and what do you want to get out of it? And that's going to be a personal question for you to determine. So what I'm going to share with you is what I call the dirty dozen. The dirty dozen, because they're dirty because you've got to get your hands dirty. If you're going to grow a wonderful garden, you've got to get your hands in the soil. You've got to, prick yourself on the thorns of the roses every now and again. You've got to pull the weeds out. So you've got to get in amongst it. You can't sort of, read a book and think everything's going to work beautifully the way. Nothing ever goes as planned. Have you realised that? However, what a plan does is create a direction. And if all your activities going in a direction, it doesn't exactly go to plan, then you're going to eventually get to where you want to be. So let's go through what I call the dirty dozen. How to grow a magical garden, grow what you want, plant the right seeds of what you want to grow, and make sure you protect it by pulling the weeds, fighting against the insects, fertilising, watering it, nurturing it. So number one, first growth tip, is what I call the 3 W's. The 3 W's are, what do you stand for? What are you growing? Why are you growing it, and who do you want to help? If you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. As Johnny said, a business should be a reflection of who you are. Therefore, you fight to death. It's like a mother and a child. It's an extension of who you are and what you stand for. Because if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything and you be led down other people's paths, not yours. You've got to stay true to your cause. What is your purpose? It's not what you get out of the world, it's what you leave in the world. It's not what you leave for your kids, it's what you leave in your kids. That are things that's going to be truly rewarding for you. Now, when you go to bed knowing you made a difference to the people that you care about, then that's a very satisfied place to be. And along the way, if you can make sure you apply the fundamentals so you also get a profit financially so you can do more stuff to invest more into your dream, then that's a good place to be as well. I remember chatting to one of our former team players, and his friend was in the investment banking. And he said to me, oh, he's having a bad day today. He says, why's that? Because the market's going down, so he's losing money, so he's really grumpy. So when's he happy? He says, when the market's going up, he's really happy. I said, whoa, isn't it fascinating that your happiness is attached to the market? That's going to be a rocky road. See, the interesting thing, if you do what you absolutely love and what you're passionate about, When I first started in this industry 28 years ago, 17 years of age, and I worked part-time as a gym instructor after school at Bob's Gym. Bob owned the gym. What should we call the gym? Bob? I don't know. Maybe Bob. Good idea. Bob's Gym. How about you, Jim? I'll call mine Jim's Gym. When I started, if this is your happy scale, 100% happy, 0% happy, when I first started at 17 as a part-time gym instructor, out of 0 to 100, where was I on the happy scale? 100. I was up here. How much money was I earning? 0. Why? Because in exchange for looking after the gym in the afternoon so Bob can go home and have a growth nap, I got free membership. So I was getting 0 money, but I was 100% happy. And along my journey, I've always done what I absolutely loved. Therefore, my happy scale has always been 100% after 28 years. And along that journey, the amount of money I've earned has been something like this. Imagine if my happiness was attached to my income. I wouldn't know if I'm Arthur or Martha. Do we get in Kman's way today? I don't know. He could be angry, could be losing money. But the funny thing is, whether my income or my net worth is going up or coming down, I'm always happy because I'm always doing what I love. Because money comes and goes. It's like the tide. You know, you lose it, but that's how you earn it. You learn how to make money by losing money. You learn to appreciate love by losing love. So if you're not prepared to lose it, then you never get it in abundance. And the reason why a lot of people don't have money is because they're too fearful of losing it. The reason why they don't become successful because they're too fearful of losing it. But success to me is purely you're doing what you love, no matter what, irrespective of what other people think. You know, I'd rather have the world hate me and me love me than me hate me and the world love me. I'd rather have the world against me than me against me. Because at the end of the day, you live in your mind in the ocean of your own thoughts of emotions. That's where you live. Everything out is external outside of that. There are other people's opinions, but you're the one who takes yourself to bed at night and thinking about your day and how you're living. So, for example, just recently, the global financial crisis, I remember sitting at home and Rose says to me, she says, you know that investments that we made, those tax-effective investments, some time ago over the last 8 years or so, we've built up these, one of our portfolios of investments. What was the name of the company? And I said, that was called Great Southern. And there's a number of other companies attached to Great Southern. I said, okay. She said, how much did we have invested? Well, to Great Southern, we had about $1.5 million. We had another, a few hundred thousand attached and some others. So probably, if we want to round it up, probably $2 million. And she said, well, we just lost it. I said, that's fascinating. Great Southern just gone into liquidation and we've lost all the money. I said, wow, how cool is that? Now, a lot of people say, well, $2 million, but what is it? I mean, I never actually saw it. It was a piece of paper. I didn't even actually see the trees. I said, yeah, they'll be there. But if you lose $2 million, that means you know how to make $2 million, right? So don't be fearful of losing it, because it will take you you'll be a lot faster making it the second time round. Now, did my happiness go down that morning? Of course not. I said, what a great lesson. What a fantastic lesson. So it's really important that you understand what you're doing, why you're doing, who you're doing it for. That way, you're always going to love what you're doing, irrespective of what the bank account. Now, it's always nice to have a good bank account, right? So you always want to put those fundamentals into place to make sure that you're getting the right outcomes in all aspects, not just in the happy account, but also the love account, the family account, the bank account. All of those should be linked together, ideally. But the happy one should always be insulated, because that's how you're going to measure your life. A good friend of mine, Wayne Pierce, said to me one day, says, life and success is about creating as many magical moments as possible. So if you create magical moments, doing things which you really love and create that, they're the things you're going to remember on your deathbed. What are you going to be thinking about on your deathbed? If you die tomorrow, would you be happy? Have you done everything you could with everything that you've had and got? And that's the ultimate question. And that way, you're going to live a life with no regret. Because regrets are the things that weigh you down. You only tend to regret the things that you haven't done. You never tend to regret the things that you have done, because wrapped in those things are lessons and successes, not mistakes. The only mistake is not doing it. So what, why, and who? Your purpose. What do you stand for? Very important to understand that. You know, I've left businesses because the business that I was involved in, we left the business some time ago. We walked away from it because we didn't believe in what our partners stood for. We walked away from opportunities of millions, lost millions in the process, but I'd rather lose millions than myself. Because now I stand firm on my own 2 feet, I stand for what I believe in, and that's what I believe in. And if you don't like it, fuck off. Right? There's plenty of other places to go. This is what I stand for. Right? Now, other people stand for different things, and I respect that. And sometimes they stand for things which are different to me. I may not like it, but I certainly respect it. I respect anyone who stands for what they believe. What do you stand for is the ultimate question. Now, second grow tip is how you're going to grow. How you're going to grow your business. First of all, your business growth will be dependent upon your personal growth. If you're not growing individually, your business is not going to grow. If you've got a team, if your team's not growing, your business is not going to be growing. So you grow and your business will follow. Your business will soon follow your own personal growth in your professional development and self-improvement. Now, in a business, I see there's 2 ways to grow a business. Vertical growth or internal growth. This is me and Savvy in Paris on holidays. Thought I'd throw that in. It's always good to remember a magical moment, right? Capture the moment, capture the memories. Vertical growth is that you're adding value to your business. So what you're trying to do there is add so much value to your business that you're going to increase the profit of your business in your business. So you're not spreading yourself thin, you're making it super valuable. So you're becoming a one standoff building like the Eiffel Tower. There's only one. There's only one Eiffel Tower. There's not like there's not a franchise of Eiffel Towers. Right? There's just one. So you are unique in such a valuable way that people will travel to train with you because you're one of a kind, because of your value. The other form of growth is horizontal growth. Horizontal growth is that you're starting to spread yourself by opening multiple studios, multiple gyms, franchising and licensing. Now, what you tend to do when you do that is that you tend to have different challenges. Because now you have to delegate the dream to other people to deliver the dream. And that in itself can be challenging. You need great systems and great training. And what you will find is that your dream will become slightly diluted and even changed in that process. So if you can't handle that, horizontal growth may not be for you. You may also find as you spread thin, your margin of profit will be smaller, but a smaller profit over more equals a bigger profit overall. Where if it's just you, it'll be a greater percentage profit, but you won't be able to spread yourself and accumulate that abundance. So you have to decide, how do you want to grow your business? And really the question is, how do you want to live your life? That's the way I see it. How do you want to live your life? Do you want to franchise and have that hassle, travel and all sorts of stuff and team training? Or do you want to say, I'm just going to create something which is small, very profitable, satisfies my values, and I get a massive amount of satisfaction out of it? Because at the end of the day, you have to be happy with what you're doing. So you have to decide, how much am I going to grow? And success is measured in your own measuring stick. I remember one of the ladies in our programs in Australia, her goal was just to train 10 clients at a home, and that was it. She had 3 kids, she had a husband who had a career, she supported her husband, and that to her was success. So she became as valuable as she possibly could with those 10 clients. Now, whether you've got 10 clients or 100 personal training studios, as long as it matches how you want to live your life, then that's success. Third growth tip, be the best. I want you to write this down. You don't have to be the best to be the most successful. You just have to give the perception you're the best to be the most successful. So that's the first half. You don't have to be the best to be the most successful. You just have to give the perception you're the best to be the most successful. That in turn will create an internal pressure for you to live up to your reputation. Create the reputation first, and that will apply the internal pressure to yourself to live up to your own reputation. Because people expect it. It says, I remember when I was in the canteen when I was working at a gym at Lifestyle Health and Fitness Club, and this lady came in, Cheryl, and she sat down, she said to me, "Geez, Kerry, you're going to be so successful." And I looked and I went, "Should I?" And no one ever said that to me before. I said, that's a bit of pressure. Now I have to live up to that reputation. I started moving after that. It was just one of those random things. Now, she saw in me what I didn't see in myself, so I was fortunate for that. So create the reputation. The old saying is, be before you are and you become, or fake it till you make it. But you can't just keep faking. You've got to do some stuff in the middle to make it. You don't want to fake it and leave with nothing. So be the best. And to be the best, create the perception you're the best. Once you've got that perception and reputation, then people will pay for that perception, as long as it meets the need. What's recognised as one of the best watches in the world is Rolex. But does it tell the best time in the world? Did it win the World Watch Timing Championships? No, now certainly it's a great watch, but is it the best watch in the world? Probably not. But the perception is, it's the best watch. Now, here's an interesting fact I want you to write down. People don't buy a Rolex to tell the time. You don't buy a Rolex to tell the time. You can buy a Seiko for that. You wouldn't spend $20,000 to tell the time. But you would spend $20,000 for a Rolex. Why? Because it's a Rolex. Because it's the perception of what it stands for. Not exactly what it is. You see a Rolex in someone's hand, you go, wow. You see a Seiko, you got the time. I remember listening to the CEO of Rolex being interviewed, and the journalist said to him, "So how's the watch business?" And he said, "I'm not in the watch business." And the journalist says, "Well, what are you in?" He says, "I'm in the luxury goods business." It's a different market. He's not competing against Casio and Seiko. He's in the luxury goods business because people don't buy Rolexes to tell the time. I just came back from, I was in Switzerland, went to Geneva, and there was the home of one of my favourite watches called Patek Philippe. One of the icon of watches, traditional watches. So I went in there and they got the gloves and all that stuff. Not to frisk him to get in, but you look at watches, they get the gloves out and put the tray with the velvet tray, and you're, oh, how important do I feel? Now, their best watch there is $1.2 million. $1.2 million. Now, you can't buy one. You have to actually apply for it. And then you apply for it, you've got to fly to Geneva, be personally interviewed by the CEO, and he will decide whether you are worthy enough to wear the watch. How cool is that? Wouldn't it be great that people can apply to train with you because you're so valuable, not you beg them to train? See, when you study great companies, you can actually see, okay, how can I take that and use it in my business? To create this perception. What perception does that give to Patek Philippe? Just having a $1.2 million watch, and you have to apply for it. It's like Enzo Ferrari. You can't just go buy an Enzo Ferrari. You get invited to give them $1 million to own an Enzo Ferrari. He says, "You own an Enzo." "Shit, eh?" Say that, go. "Shit, eh?" You own a Rolex. "Shit, eh?" You own a Patek Philippe. "Shit, eh?" You drive a Ferrari. "Shit, eh?" You train with Des. "Shit, eh?" See? Create that perception. It's not about the training session. It's about the experience. You go for a haircut, you go to a barber. You want an experience, you go to a hairdresser. What do they do different? What do they do different? That gives a perception. You know, one of the other great companies, study how they do it. How do they stand alone in the marketplace? Because they have this perception of value that is different to everybody else. If they're the same as everybody else, then the only way you can compete is on price. But you don't go in there and try to negotiate a Rolex. Go into Louis Vuitton and try to negotiate in a bag. So you don't buy Louis Vuitton because it carries stuff, right? You can get a plastic bag to do that. You pay $10,000 for a bag because it's a Louis Vuitton. And so successful that people go to Bali and buy $10 ones, right? That's the measurement of success because people want to copy. Starbucks don't make the best coffee in the world. Great book. It's not about the coffee. It's not about the coffee. You don't go to a Starbucks for a coffee. I always remember being in the office and Johnny walked in, and as soon as I saw him, I said, "Let's go for a Starbucks." Did I feel like a coffee a second before that? No. When I saw Johnny, I wanted to communicate, get together, have a chat. So what was my first thought? Let's go to Starbucks. Because it's the experience. They put the couches there, the dim lights, the wooden features, and then you have a coffee. So do they come to you for the training, or they come to you because of the experience? What I'd like you to do is create an experience that they really enjoy while they train. It's the experience will bring them back to train. Not the training, because the training's painful, right? So what perception in the marketplace? I always remember one of my clients, Rob Vogues, he said to me in the early years, he said, Kerry, when I was first starting personal training, he says, how much money do you want to earn? And I said, $100,000 a year. And he said to me this, he said, then why don't you start dressing like you earn $100,000? At the time, I was in my little short shorts, my little brother's T-shirt. I looked like a condom full of walnuts. I was showing off my magnificent quads and biceps. And I took that on board. And soon after that, I started to wear long black pants, black leather shoes, black leather belt, polo shirt and a name badge. Now, what perception now am I giving? When I'm in the gym and there's 10 trainers and I'm in there dressed like that and everyone else is wearing little people's clothes, who looks the most intelligent? Who looks the most educated? Who looks the most professional? Who looks the most professional? Who would you put your health in whose hands? Perception is amazing. Now, you know what all the trainers said to me? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Just, what's with that? What I did know, I was the person charging twice as much as anybody else and training 3 times as more people. Perception is amazing. Remember having a chat to a physio and just dressed like that, who says, wow, you know, you're so professional, you're so educated. But I never told him anything about me, just the perception. You just got to give a little bit of perception in the right direction and the people will make up the rest. If it's the opposite in the negative direction, they'll make up the rest of the negative. What you want them to do is to make up the rest of the positive. Pointing in the positive direction, they'll exaggerate the rest. People tend to exaggerate. Make sure they exaggerate in the right direction, not the negative direction. Well, look at those little clothes they're wearing. You want people to be judging you upwards, not judging you downwards. Judging you which, why are you dressed so well rather than why are you dressed so bad? Why are you so happy versus why are you so unhappy or negative? Perception is everything. You are a walking billboard of your business. Study the greats. Take those lessons and customize them to your business. Next growth tip, add value. At a low cost. When I was in Paris, I came across this little baby. Whoa, a Ferrari Californian. How nice is that? Whew. Now, a Ferrari is an interesting car. How much does a Ferrari cost? Say $500,000 for the average Ferrari, for a 458. That one's about 700, 800,000. But say $500,000. How much is a Commodore? 50,000. So a Ferrari is 10 times the price of a Commodore. So, how many wheels does a Commodore have? 4 and a spare, right? So does that mean a Ferrari has 40? It's 10 times the price. You should get 10 times the wheels. How many spares does a Ferrari have? None. What a rip-off. 10 times the price and you juke me a wheel. My goodness, how many doors does a Commodore have? 4. How many does a Ferrari have? 2. No, it must have 40. Must have 40 doors if it's 10 times the price. It's got 2. What, half? What a rip-off. 2 doors. How fast does a Commodore go? 220. How fast does a Ferrari go? 2,200 kilometres an hour. It feels that way. The point is, you don't have to be 10 times better to charge 10 times the price. You just got to be a little bit better across the board, and you can charge what you want because people can no longer compare. When one of my friends, I trained his son, Trent Darrington. He played Major League Baseball. His name's Dougie, little guy. I said, Dougie, what's the secret to success? He says, Kman, this is all you got to do. You just got to stand a little bit taller than everybody else, and you can see for miles. And he's a short guy. You just got to be a little bit better than everybody else in a unique way, in a positive way, and your value is, wow. Now, when I started learning these lessons, I started applying this to personal training. I said, okay, what can I do at the time? I was charging at the time $50 a session, and I wanted to take it up. So what I'm doing is I want to take up the price, therefore I had to increase the value without increasing the cost. So I took it up to $65, but what I added in was after every strength exercise, I did a stretch and a massage. So after, see, when you do a set, say the bench press, you go, that's painful. Everyone goes, I go, people don't come, why do you have a personal trainer? Oh, no, they don't want the, they know I have to do the, So what you have to do is, after a pain, go, you have to add a pleasure. So after the stretch, you got to go stretch, do that, go. So first you have to do, to get, go again, to get, then you give them a massage and they go, go. So first of all you have to do the, to get the, and it's the, and the, they're making come back to you because they don't get that anywhere else, right? And if they stay with you long enough, then what happens to their body? They get the pecs and they go, do that. So you have to do the, go, to get the, So you got 3, and only 1, So everything is painful. Wrap it with pleasure. You know, personally, I'll share something personal. I don't drink water because to me, water tastes like liquid air. There's no flavour in it. I don't see it. But if you put flavour in it, water. I know I have to have water to hydrate the cell, but let's disguise the hydration with pleasure, with flavour. What flavour's in your business? What are you going to add in your business to make people go? Now, Starbucks has another book called The Third Place. The third place is 3 places that people feel at home. Number 1 is at home. Number 2 is at work because they're there all the time. And there's a third place. The third place might be the pub. It might be the gym. It might be the sporting club. It could be your business. Where they walk in and they go, thank God I'm home. They go into the office and go, I'm in my office. They might go to the pub and go, on their favourite stool. But what you want to do is come into your business, your studio, and go, everything's going to be okay. When they see you, Des is here. He's going to look after me. How can you create that? Now, it has to come from you, but then you can create the surroundings, the environment to be conducive to them to go. And that's what Starbucks, they didn't try to compete in the coffee. People say, oh, Starbucks don't make the best coffee. But they never intended to make the best coffee. They wanted to make the best brand, the best coffee brand. So when you walk into Starbucks, you go, because it's, as Johnny said, certainty. Wherever you go to Starbucks, it's the same, no matter where in the world. They've got a couch, music, same experience, which is a pleasurable experience. And then you have the coffee. You don't have to be the best trainer. You aim to be the best trainer by all means. But you just want to be their best trainer, right? My hairdresser is the best hairdresser. Did they win the World Hairdressing Championships? No, because they make you feel the best when they're cutting your hair. It's not about, feel that cut. That's lovely. Cut. No, it's, what do you like about hairdressers? You get the shampoo and then you get the massage, right? The head job. How good is that? It's orgasmic. They don't do enough of it. Normally it's the scratch. They understand. If they did more on that and more on the other things in the wrapping, then you'd go back to it more often. So, increase your value. How can you increase your value without dramatically increasing your cost? Now, when I increased my prices from $50 a session to $65 a session, which is $15 a session, the studio I had at the time was doing 160 sessions a week with 6 trainers. Now, do the numbers, that's over $2,000 a week, which is over $100,000 cash in your pocket. No extra time, just a little bit more extra hassle within the session. No cost, just more hassle. Means after the exercise, you give the stretch and the massage. Towel, might be some features you want to add there which makes them feel special, important, and worthwhile. So your business needs to have at least 5 valuable USPs, which is different to everybody else. Or what most people don't deliver. First is presentation, that's a good start. And then look at your business and how can you make it, if you are different in the valuable way than every other business, you no longer have to compete in price. Because you are now the Louis Vuitton, the Ferrari, the Patek Philippe, the Harvard of your industry. And your industry may not be the world, but might be just your suburb. So, next growth tip, number 5. It's very hard to ride 3 horses when you only got 1 ass. Try it. I remember I had 5 businesses running at once. I thought, I've got 5 businesses. Aren't I successful? Yeah, there were 5 donkeys. And I'm trying to win the Melbourne Cup with 5 donkeys. So 5 average businesses that create 5 times the hassle with hardly any profit. And it wasn't until I started to say no to things and no to business opportunities and I started to focus on one thing that I made one thing great. How many horses do you need to win the Melbourne Cup? 1. And then you're super successful. How many sports do you have to be world champion in to become super successful? 1. You don't have to win all the Olympic gold medals, just one sport. Tiger Woods doesn't try to go and do multiple sports. He just focuses on one. Michael Jordan won. Michael Jordan tried to. Remember, he went to baseball. It didn't quite work. Just one. He went back to what he's great at. So find the horse that you're most passionate about and ride that baby to become a winner, to become a champion. 5 donkeys don't win Melbourne Cup. 1 great far lap wins Melbourne Cup. Just have 1. You only have to be 1, but the one you love the most. So find out which is your horse that you want to ride. A friend of mine once said, take both hands, grab one thing and ride it hard. You're not an octopus. And sometimes you do that within your business. You say, I'm going to open up group exercise, and I'm going to do personal training, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And all of a sudden you wake up in the morning not knowing whether you're Arthur or Martha. And you do everything averagely, but nothing great. Just get one great thing and do it brilliantly, and then you stand out in the marketplace for that value. You don't have to win all the sports, just one. You don't have to dominate all the market share, just one part of it. Be famous for something. Good is the enemy of great, from the great book, Good to Great. Growth tip number 6. Who likes hassle in their life? I don't like hassle. So what I learned many years ago is that you look for ways to increase profit and decrease hassle. Don't do things to increase hassle unless it's very, very profitable. Many times you get opportunities on your table and say, well, I could do that, I can do that. You can do lots of things. You know, there's so many opportunities in the world, but the most important thing that you have to decide is which is your opportunity. Someone comes to you, hey, I've got an opportunity. You ever get those phone calls? Can we do coffee? I've got an opportunity for you. We can earn passive income. You already know what it is. Says, yeah, you can earn lots of money. He says, you can earn lots of money selling lawnmowers. But am I passionate about lawnmowers? It's not my business. So find what you're passionate about and don't get distracted. Many times all you do is add hassle. You only try and add hassle if it's going to affect the bottom line and make it more profitable. Otherwise, what's the point? All you do is making yourself busier and busier and busier. You know, Mick and Patty should get great at selling watermelons before they start selling grapes. You know, the watermelons will probably crush the grapes anyway. So increase profit, decrease hassle. Sometimes people say, look, I'm going to start selling caps in my business. You know, caps with my business name, that's great. But now you have to order them and you have to store them and you have to stock control, then you have the distributor. How much money do you make out of caps? Well, 80% of your income will come from 20% of your activity. So focus on the 20% that gives you the most profit and don't get wrapped up in that 80% that only gives you 20% of the profit and 80% of the hassle. So beware that sometimes you can get busy in your business with lots of little opportunities, but focus on the things that gives you the greatest return, your biggest economic driver. Number 7, if you aim at nothing, you're sure to hit it. Set goals. Every year you should have a goal. Now, my goals tend to be only 12-month goals because they're more tangible and I sort of have an idea what to do. You all should have dreams, which is the long-term compass. A dream is something you don't understand how you're going to achieve it. A goal is a bit more tangible and you can grow in as long as your goals provide the stepping stone to those dreams. If you don't have goals, you're going to get up in the morning and not know what to do. Recite your goals every morning. You know, when an explorer gets up, does he go walking, then look at the compass, or does he look at the compass and go walking? Your goals is your compass. Otherwise, you'll be walking in the wrong direction. Now, a couple of challenges I find with people who write goals. Many times people do their goal list, and it looks more like a to-do list. You know, I have to wake up. I have to breathe and brush my teeth. You know, that's embarrassing goals. You know, sometimes if you don't brush your teeth, write it down to embarrass yourself to start brushing your teeth. Be embarrassed. Sometimes embarrassment is a good driver for success. So first of all, make sure your goals aren't small. Make them out of reach. You almost want to share them with someone and then they laugh at them. Yeah, as if. See, that's a motivator. The other challenge I find with people who set goals, they set them too far out. You know, in 2015, so what are you going to do in 2014? I don't know. Okay, we'll get rid of that one. What are you going to do 2013? I don't know. We'll get rid of that one. The reason why people set goals too far out is because when you set a goal which is way out, you know what you do? You sit down. You go, whew, I don't have to do anything today because I've got 5 years to do it. So you want to set a goal which is close enough to make you restless and not sleep well at night. Every day wasted is a day that you can't achieve your goal. So bring him close to make you restless. You know, when you come to an exam, as you get closer, you get more restless. If you've got 3 months to study the exam, what do you do tonight? Nothing. If the exam's in the week, what do you do tonight? So bring your goals closer to make you feel a bit anxious, restless, and productive. But if they're too far out, you don't do anything. If they're too small, you don't do anything. So goals, make them and revise them every single day. When you set their goals, then you have to make some decisions and take some actions. And this is where a lot of people sort of fall over. You know, they fear making decisions because what if I make the wrong decision? There is no wrong decision, it's just a different outcome. It's just a different experience. Now, making decisions is pretty easy because there's only two decisions you only have to make in your life. There's only two. This is the first one. The first decision is the right decision. The second decision is the easy decision. Everyone stand up. Everyone sit down. Everyone stand up. Everyone sit down. Now, can I ask you this? Was that easy to stand up? Yeah, it was easy. It was a bit inconvenient because your bum was sort of moulding around that chair. You're writing something. You said, oh, God, come and get me to stand up. We were inconvenienced, but it was easy to stand up. What's easy than standing up? Sitting down. What's easy than sitting down? Laying down. What's easy than laying down? Staying down. So when people choose to stand or to sit, what do they choose? To sit. If they look at their butt in the mirror, they should probably stand. The best example of this is when you go in a supermarket or shopping centre, there's escalators and stairs. Now, is it easy to walk the stairs? Yes. What's easy in walking the stairs? Take an escalator. And they'll take the escalator till they come across a chair later. And a better later. But you look at the people taking the escalator, it looks like they should take the stairs. They're not taking responsibility. And so I don't know why I'm getting fat. Well, if you're fat, you ate it, right? If you're broke, you spent it. If you don't like your staff, you hired them. Life is fairly simple. Life is really simple. This is the secret to fat loss. You ready for this? Eat less than what you burn off. People say, it must be my thyroid. Really? Thyroid. Here's the question. Do you get a thyroid challenge and get fat, or you get fat and get a thyroid problem? Because 30 years ago, we didn't have an obesity challenge with major thyroid problems, right? So it's easy to blame a poor, innocent little gland that you've been abusing for the last 20 years. And of course it goes, oh my God, what are you doing to me? So make the right decision. The easy decision is the easy decision. You know, the right decision is get out of bed and go for a run. The easy decision is to stay in bed and, it could rain. Might get a sniffle. We always take the easy decision. Take the right decisions because you get magnificent results. And you experience that magical feeling of success. Easy versus right. Easy versus right. We're the rewards, not in the easy one. There are no shortcuts. You end up running in circles that way. So when you make a decision, make the right decision. Here's a quick system to work out how to make the best decision. Ready? This is the first one. When you have to make a decision, get the facts. Not the gossip, not secondhand, from the horse's mouth, the facts from both sides. Get all the facts. Don't make any judgment. Don't get emotional. Did you hear what they're saying about you? Oh, really? Don't get emotional, because how much truth? There is no truth in the world. It's just versions of the truth. No matter how thinly you slice it, there's always two sides. If you find that when you get to the truth, it's been exaggerated. Everything in life is neither as big or as small as you think they are. So they've been exaggerated or de-exaggerated. When things seem easy, you go and do it, you go, God, that was hard. When things are going to say it's really hard and you do it, that was easy. So don't believe anything until you get the facts and do it yourself. So number one, get the facts from both sides. Number two, once you've got the facts, determine what's the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario? Can I die? Can I lose my job? Will my business go broke? What's the worst case scenario? Once you've done that, then accept the worst. Accept the worst. Because you don't fear what you accept. You only fear what you don't accept. It's like the warrior going into battle with the sword. The warrior goes in training school is fantastic. Unbelievable technique and skill and speed. Goes into battle, he fears death. How does he swing the sword? Ooh, tentatively. You will die fighting that way. Yet you come across someone else who doesn't fear death. To die is honourable for your country. How do they swing the sword? Oh, with all their might and power. You don't want to fight people like that. You don't want to fight people who are prepared to die for their cause. I learned that in school when I was a little kid. I used to be a bully for a short period of time. Until I picked on Alan Maniac. He's a little guy, a little skinny little grunt. And I picked him one day, and he just went crazy. He was swinging arms and legs. He was prepared to die. So, this is too hard. So accept the worst. You can only conquer death if you accept death. Then you decide, can you do anything about it? Is it in your control? If it's not, let it go. If it is, then make a decision. Accept the worst, and the next step is to improve on the worst. Improve on the worst. See, then everything's a bonus. If you accept the worst, then everything's great news. But when you don't accept it, everything's doom and gloom. Oh my God. But you accept it, everything's great, because it can only go up from there, right? Then, once you make that decision, take action. Take action, never look back. Take action, never look back. Measure the outcome. If you don't like the outcome, go back to step one. And that way, it gives a simple process to make fantastic decisions. Now, sometimes you're going to stuff it up, but there where the lessons are. You make more decisions, you're going to get more results, more success. Don't try to get out of decisions, try to get in them. The most valuable person is the person who takes responsibility, is the person who takes responsibility and makes the decision and takes responsibility for the outcome of that decision. So, making the right decisions. Ninth growth tip, your circle of influence. Hang around people who expect more of you than you do of yourself. Go where the expectations are high. If you want to grow high, plant yourself in the forest, not in the lawn. If you want to run fast, don't join a walking club. Run with faster runners. Places like this where you come, where you've got a great circle of influence, where people expect great things from each other. You hang out with people with bigger goals. You hang out with people where your goals is on someone else's to-do list. Your goal is to buy a property, and you hang out with a person who's bought the 100th one, because that's his system in buying properties. So go where the expectations are high. Now, this is one of the biggest challenges. There's two reasons which I've found that in business and life, people don't live the life they want, they don't achieve the success they wish. And these are the two main reasons why I've found from feedback from yourselves and past graduates. Number one is your circle of influence. You listen to the wrong people. If you want to get rich, do you listen to a poor person? If you want to get thin, do you take advice from a fat person? If you want to be positive, you take advice from a negative person. So be careful where you get the advice from. Don't hang out with people who are dream stealers, who put the seeds of doubt in your head, who haven't done it themselves, and you share a dream with them, they'll come up with 10 reasons why it won't work. Don't even share what you're doing with them. Let them take note of your results. The new car you're driving, the new life you're living, and they'll be saying, wow, what are you doing? This is stuff. Don't give detail. You don't have to justify what you do to anybody, particularly a puller who wants to pull you down the mountain of your dreams. You must protect yourself. What do you do with those negative people in your life? Remove them, detonate them, explode them, or nurture them out, coach them out. Don't return phone calls. It's not personal. There's 6 billion people in the world. You don't have to be their friend. There's plenty more. There's probably plenty more better ones. See, everyone wants you to be happy, but no more happy than them. Everyone wants you to be successful, as long as you're not more successful than them. What you want people in your circle of influence who want great things for you. You want cheerleaders who celebrate your success. To do that, you have to first celebrate other people's success. Not criticize it, not judge it. You don't get what you judge, and you never get what you criticize. If you criticize the rich, you never become rich. The greatest way to help the poor is to become rich, to be an example. Circle of influence, vital. Look at your circle of influence. Are they adding value to the life, or are they taking value from the life? Now, it might be tough sometimes with their family. You just see them a bit less, and you put that la 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 earlobes on, you know. How you going? La la la. Sometimes it's family who wants to not see great things for you. You want to look at your future, look at the people around you. If they have nothing good to say, then don't hang out with them. I'll share something personal. I don't do negative. I don't do negative. If someone comes up and is negative, they're out of my life, and then if I say, hey, it's great to meet you. You don't have to hang out with them. If you don't like them, if you don't like what they stand for, then fuck them. We spend a lot of our time trying to get acceptance from the wrong people. You want everyone to be your friend. Why would you want to be a friend with someone who doesn't want the best for you? Whether it be friends, family, acquaintances, who cares? I don't care. That will be an anchor to your success, trying to get acceptance from the wrong people. The only person you need acceptance from is from who? Yourself, the mirror. You're the one who lives with you, not them. They come in, put shit in your head, then move out. Put seeds of doubt, negativity, and they go off their own little negative world. Don't do negative. Does anyone want to train with a negative person? No, you want to hang out with a negative person? So be positive. If that means you live a life alone, geez, you're going to have a happy life. Yeah. Rather than hanging around and trying to please the wrong people. You find that true friends will be able to fit on one hand. I want you to imagine that you become super successful. You achieve all the things you want in the world. You become super rich, super happy, super in love, big houses, big picket fences, lovely dogs, travel, 5-star, lots of charity. Life is just, woo, unbelievable. Out of all the people in your life, how many people would truly, sincerely be happy for you? And how many would be just a little bit jealous? There's ones who are jealous, they're distant acquaintances. The ones who are sincerely happy for you, they're good friends. You find you count them on one hand. Now, to move on to greater circle of influence, you may have to leave the previous circle of influence. If you want to play for the All Blacks, you may have to stop playing for the local suburban rugby union team that has a fag before the game, a beer at half time, and doesn't really care if they win or lose, but you know, as long as they get a piss up at the end of it. Now, they might be good people, they're not probably nice people. But are they the people that you need to hang out with to bring the best out of you so you can play for the All Blacks? You find those All Blacks, they're not training with the guys they train with in the suburban league. They're training with where the expectations are high, where the coach expects nothing but, with no excuses. So you may have to leave the past behind to move on to the future. To get what you want, you may have to give up what you've got. If you want to swing down that way, you have to let go of the vine of the past. And sometimes they come in the form of people. And they also definitely come in the form of you, who you are. Number 10, evolve yourself and your business. The goal in life, in my view, is to become better than who you were yesterday. Become a better person who you were yesterday, a better communicator than who you were yesterday. A better boyfriend, a better girlfriend, a better lover, a better parent, a better person. So these are two questions I ask myself every single day. The first thing in the morning, I ask myself, what am I going to do today that's going to change tomorrow? And then at the end of the day, what have I done today that's going to change tomorrow? If I haven't done anything that's going to change tomorrow who I am, what I stand for, then it's a wasted day. It's a Groundhog Day. I ask people, what have you been up to? Oh, nothing much. They're not lying. Same old, same old. Oh, really? Have a good life. Oh, I'm out of here. Are you a better person today than you are yesterday? Invest in yourself. So I said, the circle of influence is the number one reason why people don't be accepted. Now, number two was, I shared before, there's two. Number one was the pullers in your life, the people you try to get accepted. So number two is your lack in belief in yourself. Dr. J said it beautifully before, the difference between a $50 trainer and a $100 trainer many times is just self-belief. Now, understand, we all have doubt, we all have self-belief challenges, but sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief in you until you believe in yourself to believe in you. you'll be amazed that I believe in you more than you believe in you. Ro believes in you more than you believe in you. Johnny believes in you, Dr. J. Winnow believes in you more than you believe in you. Because we know what you don't know, and we see what you don't see. What I see is a room full of magnificent people with the right intent, with the right purpose, who look professionally magnificent, who are great communicators, incredibly good looking. And there's no reason why you can't have the life of your dreams and become super successful, except that you don't believe in yourself enough. So number one, to overcome it, sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief in you. I was fortunate that my mum believed in me. Whatever I shared, she says, that's a great idea, go for it. My old man, that's another story. They made a movie about him called Grumpy Old Man. He's a lovable old fart. A little bit grumpy, but he's lovable. But as long as you don't listen to him, I never listened to any advice. So I didn't want to live his life. So you have to take other people's belief in you. Number two is you have to create enough evidence to create the belief. And days like today, to hear other people who have done what you want to do, then you say, if they can do it, so can I. It's just working out how. There are people who are uglier, shorter, fatter, less educated, less skilled, less fortunate than you who have actually achieved what you want to achieve. So the more you sort of read books about these people who become successful, who overcome these challenges, the more it creates evidence that, hey, it can be done, and it's been done by people well before me. There are people who've pioneered the opportunity. I just got to put it into practice. So association, looking for evidence and educating yourself. As when I put it beautifully, you have to become competent before you can become confident. So education creates confidence. Because the more educated you are, the more things that you can do, it's going to take you towards your goal. So evolve yourself and evolve your business. Every day is the first day of the rest of your life, and every day is the first day of your business. You always ask yourself, if I started again, what would I do differently? Work out what you do differently, then do it. Then remove what you're doing. Why would we hang on to what we're doing it because we've just been doing it for a long period of time? I'm hanging on to that friend because I've known them since school. Well, that's no reason. Hanging on to an anchor, swimming across the channel, dragging you down. Come on. We're trying to climb a mountain, dragging someone up. If you had to start your business again, what would you do differently? In Australia, we've closed the Gold Coast College. The reason, the big question I had to ask myself, because I started that college 22 years ago, bit of emotional attachment, but I asked myself, and it was savvy and with Rory, I said, if we started again, would I open up a college on the coast? And the question was no. The only reason why it's there is because that's where I happened to grow up. So we closed it because the model of our future business is not based on smaller areas. It's going to be in more capital cities with 1 million people at least. So why did I hang on to it? Yes, was it making a little bit of profit? Yeah, it was going okay, but that's just one extra ball when I could be fishing in the big pond, right? Creating something bigger. So if you had to start again, what would you do different? If you started your life, what would you do different? Use this in your personal relationships. If you met your partner now, would you date them? Why are they part? Oh, I've been there for 5 years. I'd be wasting the 5 years. Great, waste the next 5 on maybe the wrong person. If you met your husband or wife now, would you marry them again? Great question. Because as far as I know, you only get one shot at life. And hanging on to the past is going to stop the opportunity of the future. You don't go anywhere. You won't get those great treasures of success and joy and love and all the great things you want to experience. Evolve. Make sure you're not evolving into this. If you start again, how would you do? Well, I'll start again, I'd be fit, lean and mean. We'll get going. Even if you're not fit, lean and mean. Start thinking fit, lean and mean. Be before you are. Change the mind, the body will follow. Number 11. Grow some. Now, I read, you know you follow Chuck Norris? Yes, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, he's so tough, you know, Chuck Norris. He's so tough that he doesn't shave his balls because hair doesn't grow in steel. That's Chuck Norris. Yes. Chuck Norris doesn't have heart attacks. A heart would never attack Chuck Norris. Too scared. The boogeyman, when he goes to bed, he looks under the bed to see if Chuck Norris is under his bed. Grow some balls. Have a go. What's the worst thing that can happen? Fail? Will you die? No. Will you be better for it? Of course, as long as you don't hang on to the failure. Two main things that tends to stuff people up is, today's anxiety and depression. You know that stuff? Anxiety and depression. Well, anxiety is what you think of the future, and depression is what you think of the past. I'm anxious. Oh, the future. Can you do anything about it? No. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, it's the past. Can you do anything about it? No. You can't change the past, just what you think about it. Just what you think of it. So don't hold on to anything. Life is in the moment. How you feel right now is that's your life right now, past and future. Plant some seeds for the future to create greater opportunities. Grow some boards, have a go. The longer you wait, the less chances you have. Life will pass you by. Life, as we know, it seems to speed up with age. It's like a toilet roll. Closer to the end you get, the faster it seems to go, right? I've got two mates of mine, Pete and Tone. Known them for 26 years. Pete was one of my gym members. Tony was one of my gym members, and Pete was my gym supervisor. After 20 years, Tony became super, super wealthy. Lived on Hedges Avenue, richest street in Australia, mansion there. Pete, after 20 years, he's broke. It's quite amazing. Tone took 20 years to get rich, and Pete took 20 years to get broke. The time will pass you by. I think sometimes it takes the same amount of time to fail as it does to success. It takes the same amount of time to get rich as it does to get poor. It takes the same amount of time to get fit as it does to get fat. Same amount of time. The only difference is one's sitting on the couch thinking about it, and the other one's out there doing it. I think if you exercise as much as you think about it, we wouldn't have a fat problem, would we? I should exercise. Let me think about that. Sit down, have a couch, eat a donut. Okay, I'll think about this. After 20 minutes of thinking, I haven't got time. The longer the gap between the thought and the action, the less likely there's going to be action. So as soon as the thought comes in, take action straight away. I don't have my running clothes. Who cares? Run. They didn't have running clothes back in caveman days. Nikes didn't exist. They ran barefoot. So, grow some boards, have a go, chase your dreams. Get up. Don't sit back and live in the land of regret. Life gets tough. As long as you're pushing forward. Sometimes it goes easy, sometimes it pushes you back. But you keep pushing and you will get there. You will get there no matter what. The only time people don't achieve it is when you stop. That's the only time. When you stop, you fail. When you don't stop, you're a success. Because you put everything you had into everything that you do. Number 12, make sure you have fun. Life ain't that serious. People get stressed out over all sorts of stuff. Have fun with it. That's fascinating. Isn't that fascinating? Life is full of fascinating events. Don't take it personally. In wealth creation, I like to compare it to playing Monopoly. When you play Monopoly, do you go, I want to hold my money. You want to buy the house? No, I want to keep my money. No, you put the money, you buy greenhouses, right? Properties, greenhouses. But in life, you go, oh no, I want to protect the money. Put it out there. Who wins a Monopoly? The one with the most red houses, red hotels? The ones who takes that risk, puts it out there. Sometimes they go broke, doing a bit tough, but the mortgages will, I'll get the rent. Have fun with it. Life's not that serious. Learn to laugh every single day. If you don't have a gut-wrenching laugh every single day, then you're living probably a not so satisfied life. It's great for the soul. Gut-wrenching laugh. What did you do when you were a kid? You're having lots of fun, right? Then we get adults, we go, oh, life is serious. Then you die. It's a serious death. Goodness me. Have fun. Every day. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy life. Drink the coffee and make sure you stop to eat the roses. Thank you.